Really? Operation is locked, rotate device, orientation is locked, rotate device back. Now guys, I'm on a totally different phone, a new phone, and I'm still hitting the same issue with orientation. It's let me start the stream, and now it tells me I need to move the phone the other way. Which way am I up for you? Am I the right way or the wrong way? Let me know. I can see that the chat has remained visible here. I think I'm going to be sideways for you right now. Is that right? Somebody tell me what's happening. It's all wrong. Fucking... I'm on a different phone. So now I know it wasn't the... what are they called that do the orientation? It wasn't the sensors for the orientation on the other phone. This is a YouTube issue and it's a pisser of a fuck up. And on this phone now, I've only got the top half of the screen visible. I'm in a square in the top half. I don't know what to do, folks. Do I end the stream and spend half an hour creating a new stream? I've dropped my pen. I've got to do something about that. Let me sort that. Fuck! Ah! It went to roll straight off the table. YouTube, what is this shit? Every time, and that's on different phones. So it's not the accelerometer or whatever they're called that detect the orientation, the sensors. It's not those. This is a programming thing with YouTube on mobile. And I now have the proof because two separate phones. Oh! Also, folks, I broke the clip off my phone. Off my pen. Fuck phone. I broke the clip off my pen. So I can't just clip all the pages of my book together. So it's all going to move about in the wind. Which is why I wanted the pen, but then it just rolls off the bloody page now without the clip. So that's not going to fucking work either. Yeah, I moved my phone to portrait to compensate Jack Attack. It's not ideal, but I can't go and spend another 15 minutes creating another stream. That's just... I'm late as it is. Late and gay. Apologies to my gay friends. I don't mean gay as too much of a pejorative. But it's what we used to call each other when I was a lad. We'd call each other's puffs and puffters and woofters and bummers. Whatever word you want. Get over yourselves. Stop being so fucking puffterish. It's what we do. And I know that even amongst the gays, they call each other names. You've got bears and furries and all the whole bloody gamut. The fairies, yeah. Look, I know you've got names for each other. Get over yourselves a little bit, guys. Just relax a bit. It's all good. We all call each other names. What is it you call us? Breeders. You call us breeders, the straight folk. We're the breeders. Yeah. Language, folks. Do not ever try and police someone else's language. Do not try and control what comes out of someone else's mouth. Or what goes in someone else's mouth. Just keep your fucking self to yourself and shut up. Alright. This is, finally, after 3 weeks, this is episode 47, episode 047 of Trampcast, Sunday, October the 13th, 2024. I am Delta Mike, and the channel is Down and Out in Torrevieja. Down and out. A tramp, a hobo, a vagrant, an indigent person, a person of no fixed abode. Some might say a bum. I wouldn't have until recently, but it's an Americanism I've added. Someone who sleeps rough. Someone who lives on the streets, not someone who walks the streets. That's a different thing. The ladies of the night. Or in my case, someone who lives in a field. It's been a while, folks. It's been a while. Like I said, 3 weeks since we did a Trampcast, I believe. And for 1.5 of those, I was kind of phoneless. But I got to thank, these are my announcements. I think I need to thank 3 people to start with. Firstly, my friend Karen, who's actually come through and provided me with a phone because she arrived in the country at the time and brought me her old phone, which is, rather astoundingly, it's a excuse me, Samsung Galaxy Z Flip. Don't go looking up the value of that online, folks, because then you will realise I really am like the Prince of Tramps or the King of Tramps. It's a cast-off. It has a problem. It has a couple of faults. It goes wrong in a couple of ways, but they're ways that I can avoid and aren't a problem. So thank you, Karen. I also want to thank my mate Chipmunk, or Chippy, from Big Clive and Scruff Dogs channels, where we met up, who is currently in the process of sending me a phone. It's on its way, hopefully. We're in the hands of the mailman. I'm a little bit worried because it's been I think 11 or 12 days. So if it doesn't get here soon, it's maybe gone astray. A little bit worried about that. And my mate Meme Jeff, M-E-M-E, Meme Jeff, J-E-F-F, who is offering to send me another phone as a backup so that I don't have this single point of failure. Because that's always an issue, folks. That was always on my mind with the last phone. One is none. When you've only got one of something, you're this close to it breaking, becoming lost, dropping on the floor, being damaged, whatever. You're this close to not having any. Not, you know. My last phone dropped in the water, in Tina's water, in the dog bowl, twice. I was always, and the on and off buttons were sticking, the screen wasn't responding, and then the power port got all iffy. And then, while I was trying to clean the power port out, I had an idea to maybe try and tighten up the connection by bending something a little bit, and it didn't bend. I snapped something, I think. I heard a crunch. Something is no longer as it was. And I was only on about 30% at the time. This is Saturday, I think three weeks ago yesterday, I think. Or was it two weeks ago yesterday? But it's 3 Saturdays ago. And something went, and I just had to watch the power drop down. It's just the power was draining downwards, and that was that. There was no way of getting any more power in. No wireless charging on that particular phone. Thank you to Anita and Tina who bought me that phone in the first place. Anita, apologies if you're watching. The last time I talked about this, I said your name wrong. I called you Anthea for some reason, which is really weird because I've never met an Anthea in my life. I only know of one Anthea Turner, who used to present the lottery program on the BBC. So I don't know how my head got muddled up between Anita and Anthea. Apologies, my friend. I'm a dick. I don't know. I don't know how to explain that one. But thank you to Karen for this phone. Like I said, it's a Samsung Galaxy Z Flip, and the best price I find online, I see them for like £1,000 plus, £1,000 to £1,500. And I'm a tramp with one. Fuck knows how. But also Scruff Dog and Big Clive for their communities, and for the Chipmunk and Meme Jeff for your wonderful offers of alternate devices that I may take advantage of in future, if they arrive, if we get there. But that's kind of my big announcement. I'm back. That's the big announcement. I'm back. I'm online, and we're here, and I've got phones. And thank you to you guys for the phones. So yeah, here we go, folks. As I say, this is episode 47 of Trampcast, and the thank you section. Now this is going to cover. I didn't make notes over the last 3 weeks, really. I know, it's bad of me. The first week I made notes, but they're on the old phone and I can't access them. So I've got a week of notes that I can't access. Then I was in a bit of a depression and a down, and I didn't make notes for that week while I was cut off from the world. And I half-heartedly made notes this week that I've tried to retroactively fill just now. So bear with me while I try and, fill the gaps. So the thank you section for this week includes PayPal payments going back to before the loss of connections. I got back into PayPal, okay. I've struggled with the accounts of some services because I haven't got the old phone to just port accounts across. I'm having to try and... I managed to get back into Google, okay. I had two-factor authentication set up, and I had some backup. They give you these 8-digit passcodes. If you haven't got access to your phone, you can just use these 8-digit passcodes. I got in on Google, but it turns out I hadn't set Google up properly to back up passwords. So Google and PayPal were the only ones I thought to back up in the last 2 minutes before my phone went dead. I know, unprepared. I call myself a prepper. Bit of a fuck up. My whole life, folks, look at me, I live in a field. My whole life's a bit of a fuck up. But I'm back, I'm online. So, Dave H from 3 weeks ago. That ain't cheap, as we say around these parts when someone donates as much as you did, sir. That ain't cheap. Then there was Killian F. Thank you, my friend. Next up was Jeff E. Cheers, bud. Appreciate you. Next, we got Andrew P. That ain't cheap, as we say again for those kind of amounts. Thank you, sir. You are very, very much appreciated. Yeah. Now, in the first week while I was offline, I don't know if you remember, my friend Anthony was actually here when I did the last Trampcast 3 weeks ago. My friend Anthony was here, and he was still in the country for about a week. So he came around a few times, and I think on each occasion he brought either food or beer, sometimes both, and he took me out to Tweety's. If you remember, Tweety's is the fish and chip shop, the fish and chip restaurant in Torrevieja. I would say, again, this is me trying to get some kind of sponsorship from them or something. I would say the foremost fish and chip shop, this is the grift, folks, this is the grift. The foremost fish and chip shop in Torrevieja. And I've tried a few over the years. I've been here 8.5 years now. In fact, nearer to 9 than 8.5, I think, by now. But Tweeties, it's my favourite fish and chips establishment. Anthony took me there. So thank you very much, Anthony, for all your help during that week. And he didn't know that I'd been cut off from my phone until about I'm not sure if it was the Wednesday or the Thursday. But I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you very, very much for everything. Everything during your visit. And I know you're going to be back out here in about 2 weeks. So I look forward to seeing you and your family again. Cheers, bud. Tina girl. Oh, can we do this? Can we do this? Let's try. Here she is. She's barking at a lady that's just walking past. Tina girl, come and say hello. Here she is. Come and say hello to the people. It's my girl. Hey babe, steady, steady. Don't knock the table. It's not a table. It's a laundry bin. I think I've shown you in the past. It's just a laundry bin. But hey, I'm a tramp. I live in the field. I have to cobble things together sometimes, especially after the police stole my actual table, my green plastic garden furniture table or patio furniture table. I hope that the wind isn't playing too much havoc with the audio, folks. I've got my sponge that I would normally put over the end of the phone and cover the microphone, keep the wind off. But when the phone's in portrait mode, as Google/YouTube have just forced me into, I can't put the sponge on there and have it in the holder. That's not going to work. I don't know what to do about that. Where am I? I got as far as talking about Anthony. Now, a gentleman I'd never met before wandered into camp a couple of weeks ago. I think it's about 2 weeks ago. Bloke named Michael. And he stopped by. And he gave me a very generous donation. That ain't cheap. He brought me some euros and said he'd call back again one day. So if you're still here, Michael, I wasn't not thanking you. I was offline, my friend. I was offline. I was disconnected from the world. But I'm back now. If you're still here and you want to call back again, say hello. You're more than welcome, my friend. If I've got beer in at the time, I'll give you a beer. All right? Okay. Thank you, Michael. He was wearing a Celtic shirt, but it sounded... This could be me just being wrong. He sounded Irish to me, but I don't know. I know there's a whole Catholic Protestant thing, but it might just be that I didn't recognise the accent. I'm sorry, my friend, if I've got something wrong there, but I'm human. I get shit wrong. I lived in Dumfries. Dumfries is about as far north as I got in Scotland. Although I did visit a friend somewhere near Glasgow one time. Some standing stones in a circle. Can't remember the name of the place. But I lived in Dumfries for 6 months, 9 months. So I'm not totally unfamiliar with Scotland, but your accent did sound more Irish. So it could be a religion thing. Or maybe you're just a fan of a football team. I don't know. I'm digging myself in deeper and deeper, aren't I? Let's step away from that conversation. Let's step away from that. But, yeah. Michael came to the camp. And then I've got to thank this week. Well, I've got to thank Karen for the phone, obviously. I mean, and as I've said, it's not a cheap phone. I know it's a cast off already because there are bits that have gone wrong. It's a flip phone. You can close. It's a touch phone, but with it's foldable. One of those early foldable screens. But as soon as you move it a fraction, it turns off. Not just the screen goes off. It goes off, like reboot off. So it's not perfect, but I was disconnected from the world. As long as I can keep it straight, and in my trouser pocket it will stay straight. It's not like putting it in a handbag or whatever, like she had to kind of cope with. I can keep it more or less straight most of the time, so it's not so much of an issue for me. So thank you, Karen. And then I need to thank this week. Did you see my tent, folks? Did you see my video? You saw before I was cut off, my roof is in 4 sections. There's 4 panels of fabric on the roof. Before I lost connection with the internet, the first panel went through, and once it cracks, then blows around in the wind, and it all just tears, and it cracks and blows away. It tears and shears and blows away. Well, over the next week or two, another 2 panels, well, they both went the same night, actually. They cracked probably Sunday night or Monday this last week, a week ago. Somewhere around there, Sunday, Monday, maybe Tuesday. No, I don't think Tuesday, no, because my friends came and helped me on Wednesday. So Saturday or Sunday, the tent cracked and another 2 of the panels went. So basically 3/4 of my tent had no roof at all. No roof at all. The only part that did is the far part, which is where my bedroom is. Me and the dog sleep that end. So we still had a roof over our head. But the rest of the tent was wide open, and we were worried about rain, you know. At this time of year in Spain, you know the stories, the rain in Spain. It doesn't rain until it does, and this is the time of year. This is when you get what they call the gota frias, the cold drops or cold snaps, when the temperature changes so much that all the moisture in the atmosphere comes down all at once, and you get, well, basically you get flooding, or at least torrential rain. This field used to flood before they put flood defences in the top. I've said it many times. I know I'm probably boring some of you, but hey Ismo, sorry mate, I didn't see you there. My friend Ismo from Finlandia. He's coming over to visit again soon. Good to see you, my friend. But yeah, 3/4 of my tent had no roof, and then our good friend Steve came around, and I was going to say he helped, but if you watch the video, I was quite open, I was quite honest. He took over. He had more experience with setting up like market stalls in December with the wind blowing and with tarpaulins, big plastic sheets, for those of you that don't know the word tarpaulin. Big tarpaulins and frames. And he'd use these big clips like bulldog clips on acid, you know, big fuck off clips. And he went over to the Chino Bazaar, and I thought he was going to buy like 4 or 6 or maybe 8. He came back with about 22, I think, out 20 at least. I thought we were just going to fasten. I thought we were just going to tie a tarpaulin over my roof. Now the tarpaulin was donated a long time ago by my friends Mark and Jeff. Don't know if you ever watch this still, guys. I don't know if you're still out there, but thank you so much for the tarpaulin. It fit perfectly, like with about 2 inches to spare, 5 centimeters to spare on both sides of the tent. It fit. Now this is where Steve's expertise came in, keeping the tarpaulin perfectly square, otherwise a couple of the corners wouldn't have fit. We had to keep it exact, and we had to keep it tight, and he's there with these and I'm trying to help, I'm wanting to help, but he's just got so much mastery at it, and I'm thinking, oh, we don't want to be too rough with the tarp, we don't want to tear, and he's just, oh no, more, pull, and he's just there, he's just perfect. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, my friend. Steve and family. Cheers, bud. And Steve came back again a couple of days later, Saturday. He'd been talking and telling me about how Mercadona, where he is, does this litre bottle of brandy. And I'd not seen this in mine. In my supermarket, €6 will buy you a 700ml bottle of spirits, whiskey, brandy, vodka, whatever. €6. €10 for a litre. In his shop, €6 gets him, someone in his family, €6 gets him a full litre of brandy. And I was saying how astounded I was at that and how I liked a bit of brandy. And he came back yesterday and he brought me brandy. Hello. Tina girl, shush. Tina's just saying hello to some ladies walking past. Tina girl, quiet. Hey, quiet. Leave the ladies alone. Leave the ladies alone. Pretty ladies. Good girl. Try to score for daddy. One day, if we can find a homosexual out there. One day. Back on story. Yeah, my mate Steve. Yeah, no, Steve. So thank you to Karen for the phone, and thank you to Steve for the help with the tarp, and he just said, "Oh, I think we should use these clamps. I'll go buy some." And I said, where do you get them? Will they even have? And he said, oh, the Chino Bazaar, they're bound to have some. I've never, guys, in all my time here, there's a really big Chinese, it's like, think Poundland, or I guess a Dollar Tree in America, maybe Target, something like that. But it's really big. And in all my time here, I've never got to just wander around it, because I park my dog outside, and she barks once a second, every second until I come back out. So I have to know where I'm going, what I'm getting, and it's an SAS job. It's an in and out before they know, before they know you're there. In, grab something else, back to the till, out. 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes tops, because you don't want to annoy the neighbours or the shop staff with the barking dog. So I've never had a chance to just wander the aisles aimlessly and just see everything that they do. And if I did, I'd probably spend a fortune. If I had a fortune. So yeah, it's all really difficult. But thank you to all of you that I've just named. Shall I run back through the names quickly? No, Tina. I said no. Quiet. Leave the lady alone. Tina, leave the young lady alone. Quiet. Okay, folks, back on track. Thank you, Dave H, Killian F, Jeff E, Andrew P, Michael, who came to the camp, Anthony, who came multiple times and took me out. Yeah. And to Steve, and also to Karen for the phone. Yeah. Thank you, everybody I just named. Thank you, my friends. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. I can't express my gratitude enough. I mean, I know each week I run around the same sentiments, and we're going to get onto this in the themes for the week in a moment. So let's go and do that now. That was the thank yous. This is episode 47 of Trampcast, and here are the themes for the week. If you didn't just see it in a separate video, once I've cut this up and clipped it, the thank yous, I just did the thank yous, and as ever, a major theme, I say as ever, it's only been recently, it's only the last few months, the last maybe 6 months or 12 months. I've been living in this field for 2 years now, as of Wednesday this week. We'll get to that momentarily. Oh, that'll be a few moments, but we'll get there. I've been homeless for 14 months as of tomorrow, but I've been in this field for 2 years, sorry, 26 months as of tomorrow, not 14. 26, 2 years and 2 months I've been homeless. But I've been in this field 24 months as of Wednesday, just gone. And that's when I got hit by my first flood that took out all my electronics. And I am a geek. I'm a gadget geek. I'm a gadget freak. I had tablets and chargers and phones and USB powered light bulbs and solar panels and foldable small scale solar panels. And almost everything was wiped out. Pen drives. I had pen drives coming out the wazoo. I must have had 20 pen drives. And after the 2 floods, I think I had about 3 or 4 that worked. 3 maybe that worked. And even then they only worked after some serious scraping away of corrosion on the contacts. Well, corrosion and debris. Yeah, it was difficult. I've had difficult times in this field. Although I've grown to love it after they did the work in the top of the field, the land works. A clamp on Tina wouldn't be a bad idea. Unfortunately, it won't fix her legs. Her back legs are going at a rapid rate. In fact, that is one of the themes for the week. We're in the themes for the week section, so let me just move to that. The thank yous, please just go and watch the separate video for thank yous. I don't want to repeat myself too much. I am ever so thankful to all the help from each and every one of you who has helped. For anyone who's new here or anyone who wants to help, I have a PayPal account. It's going to be linked in the description. Probably already is. I'm not entirely sure. I've got a block of tech. This is another thing, guys. New phone. I've lost all my assets from my old phone. So text files that I would just copy and paste. Photos that I would use to construct thumbnails and things. All gone. I'm starting from scratch. Some of it I can download from another video and reuse. Like most of today, have you seen what a kludge today's thumbnail was? I took a thumbnail that already existed, I then took a separate photo and cropped me out of a separate thumbnail and put a picture of me over the top left-hand quadrant. The top right-hand quadrant, I made the text that says Trampcast047, and then I had to try and resize that and then place it correctly over what used to say Trampcast037, and I didn't quite get it right, and it's all a bit of a kludge and it's all a bit of a mess, because I'm a fucking tramp. I live in a field. Shit's difficult. I'm working on a phone. I'm trying to do shit like this. I don't have a nice big 42-inch screen like I'm used to, or like I used to back years ago. It's all a little bit fucked up. I think I can say that now. After the first 2 or 3 minutes you can get away with swearing. Tina girl. Tina. Quiet. Calmate, amiga mia. Tranquilo. Hey. Calmate. Quiet. Basta. Sufficiente. That's enough. Love her. She thinks she's protecting me. A man with a German Shepherd was just walking past, so she sprung into action. Hey V, how you doing? Folks. Yeah, Dropbox would have been a good idea if I'd thought of it sooner, I know. I got Google Photos and it was struggling with like a limit of how much it could upload each day or each week or whatever. So some of my photos made it up, but not all. There's a hell of a lot on that phone that I would like access to, but that I currently don't. But Meme Jeff, the guy, one of the guys who's offering to send me a phone, he repairs phones. I don't know if he does it for a hobby or for a living, but he seems quite serious at it. And he's offered If I send my phone there, he'll repair it and send it back. And it is just a case of putting a spudger in, taking the screen off, taking it apart, and unsoldering the USB connector and putting a new one on, a USB-A micro connector. I'm not sure if it's economically worth it to because he's in a different country in Europe. We got to send packages back and forth, but it would certainly be advantageous for me to have access to some of the resources, photos, videos, but also like the assets that I use when like my intro videos that I only created them recently. I mean, I could do them again, but it'd be a lot of work to download all the thumbnails from all these videos and then recreate a new video. Not impossible, but I don't know if it's economically viable. Dropbox would have been a good idea if I'd thought of it earlier. I think I had it installed, but I didn't have it set up. Because I never got access to my old, what I wanted was access to my old Microsoft account. But my previous phone got damaged in the floods and got wiped out. And I didn't have any kind of backup account, or I had no way of getting back in. You know when you set up a new phone and you have to put your details in? And the first thing that everybody wants to do is the two-factor authentication thing. They all want to send a text to your old phone to confirm that you're you. My old phones weren't working. They were fucking ruined in a flood. Yeah. Ma. Okay. Backup email, yeah, but how do you do backup email to yourself? You know? You need to log into that email when you get back online, and you need a friend or somebody else to have the account to kind of help you out. Otherwise, the backup email goes to your backup account, and that email wants, whoever that email is hosted with, wants to send a text to your phone to let you log in to do the two-factor authentication thing. You get caught in a catch-22, my friend. I hope you never try. I hope you never experience it. But there are some things in the modern world that just catch-22 or Mexican standoff. Sometimes it's a three-way thing rather than a two-way, which is, I believe, is a Mexican standoff. I think I learned that from the Big Brother, the Big Bang Theory taught me that one. The episode where they were trying to buy liquid helium? I think liquid helium, wasn't it? They were trying to buy in a parking garage. Parking garage, as you'd say where I'm from. North of England. Parking garage. Okay folks, where am I? I was on themes for the week before I sidetracked myself so much. Oh, another major theme for the week. See, my tent, 3 of the 4 portions of roof were wide open for the first half of the week. So checking the weather, once I did get back online, see, here's the thing. Karen brought me the phone last Saturday. But my internet, my pay-as-you-go internet had run out the weekend before. So I've got this brand new, to me, phone. It's useless until Monday dinner time when the phone shop 500 meters that way opens, and I can go and put some money on my Lebara account. Oh, here's one, bastards! I had €5 on my Lebara account. I kid you not. Somehow I've been putting money on my Lebara account in the past, and I must have put €20 on and then only used 15 or something. There's €5.02 on the account. Somehow 1 or 2 cents accrue over time. Possibly conversion, I don't know, some inaccuracy in the system somewhere anyway. But So I get this phone set up and I get Lebara added, and I go and I sit on the benches. We'll get to this. I'll talk about this more fully shortly. But I'm sat out in the wilds, in the open, just on the phone, trying to set it up, trying to get the Google account added and install the first 20 or 50 apps, you know. I do have a lot of apps installed. And I'm looking through the apps from the old phone and picking what to add back and what not to, and what to put alternates on. All of that, if you've set up phones a few times, you've danced that dance once or twice. I'm doing all that, but I get Lebara installed, who are my provider, and I want to just check how quickly I'm using data. And I log in. It's the same phone number, it's the same SIM card, same phone number, but my account with them is empty. €0 stored. Where the fuck did my €5 go, you robbing bastards? Me and Lebara have a fucking love-hate relationship. They hate me, and they love to hate me, and I love to hate them by the looks of things. But the bastards literally robbed me of €5 over that week. Obviously it didn't get added to my account. I didn't have a live SIM or a live phone. I had nothing. The account that they would have been trying to charge uses the pay-as-you-go thing I do is €15. There's €5.02 in that account, and now there's not. And I paid 15 in cash at the shop down the road. Where's my fucking €5, Lebara? Of all of the shady shit that you do, just blanking an account of credit has got to be the fucking worst. That cannot be legal. That's theft, pure and fucking simple. And this is going to be a short. If there's less than 60 seconds there that I can clip into a short. I'll try. We'll try and make a short out of it. Yeah, you're right, Jackie Jack. If I could do that, turn off two-factor. I don't even have a second email account at the minute, because it would have been it was Hotmail back in the day. I was an original Hotmail user before Microsoft bought them. I was sat on a bus coming home from uni in Lancaster when I read that Microsoft were going to buy Hotmail, and I'd had my Hotmail account 1 or 2 years already at that point. So my Hotmail account goes way back. That would have been my backup. I can always create another and do all that, but it wasn't my preferred option. My preferred option was to recover the old account. But how do you do that when you're on a new device? When I first got the old phone 18 months ago, I danced the dance. I went through all the automated procedures trying to recover the account, but everything revolved around no response from the phone prior to that. It all just got bah. Okay, folks, are we still on the themes for the week? Thank you. Yeah, phone, tent, food, money. Yeah, I didn't mention the fact that Karen came around and brought me food, and I did mention the fact that Anthony gave me money when he came. No, I didn't mention it properly. When Anthony came around, he came around a few times. Like I said, the first time he came, he brought me a bag of change, a bag of coins, loose coppers. And there was like 24, 25 euros worth of loose change. What I would call shrapnel. The loose metal around a hand grenade, the fragmentation from a hand grenade when it goes off. Shrapnel. Some German bloke, I believe, from the sound of his name. But he did that when he first arrived, and he did it also just before he left. He brought me another bag of loose change. So it looks like every time Anthony goes out and spends some money in a bar or a shop or whatever, when he gets home he just empties his pocket and puts it in a bag, and then gives it to the local charity case. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, sir. Look forward to seeing you again in a couple of weeks, as I say. So yeah, folks, but hoping it didn't rain. I was starting to say my tent was open. Three of the 4 sections of the roof were wide open when Steve came round and helped me. Can I put it that way? He did help me. It's just he wasn't helping while I did it. I was just standing watching while he did it in the end. Cheers, Steve. Thank you, my friend. So Karen, thank you. Steve, thank you. And you see how the themes for the week devolve again into the thank yous. I'm gonna have to move these 2 sections apart so they're not. Yeah. Okay, folks, we're on 45, almost 46 minutes, and we're going to begin discussing not just the last week, but the last 3 weeks. But as I said, I didn't make notes. I made notes of the first week, but they're on the old phone and are totally inaccessible, and I didn't think quickly enough. I could have just emailed them to myself. Then when I got a new phone, logged in, or as Jack Attack's saying, I could have done the Dropbox thing or put them on a pen drive. I mean, I could have done anything. I have the OTG cables. Had to buy a new OTG adapter. It's not a cable, but it's a little thimble, a little device. Had to buy a new USB OTG for USB-C. I didn't have one. I had 2 OTG cables for USB-C that were in a tin with USB light bulbs and pen drives and all sorts that when the police stole my shit back in the day. However long ago that is now. It's quite a while. I do keep harping on about it. Because when someone takes your stuff away without a court order, without a receipt, without an appeals process, that's theft. They take it away with the intention of permanently depriving you of it. Pretty much the definition of theft, even if they're the fucking police, without a receipt, without a court order, without any paperwork. Theft, I tell you. Still annoys me. They drove past a couple of nights ago. Friday night must have been. I was in the field, it was dark. I was about to walk the dog, so I'm stood here in this field. So there's a bloke in a field for no real reason, that's what I was thinking. And they drive past. And I'm thinking, oh fuck, here we go. All I saw at first was a white car coming down the road, and then I saw it kind of had a roof rack thing, and then I saw that in the middle of the roof rack there was like a bar, and it was the lights turned off, but you know, the blue flashy lights turned off, and I thought, fuck, here we go. And they got to the bottom of the road where someone's now building a wall and building a structure, and they just turned around and they came back, and I went and stood by my tent, and I thought, I'm not going to just stand in the field here and wait for them to stop and start a conversation. I went and stood this side of my tent, bobbed down a bit, head down, hiding. And surprisingly, they came down the road, they turned around, and they just went past, they just glided past and fucked off. Left me alone. Biggest shock of my bloody life. I'm not sure it's happened often. I was thinking of cooking that night, and I was thinking of cooking out here with something that they wouldn't like. So if I had, I could have been just between you and me. Okay, folks. Putting my new roof on, cooking food and staying out of the way of the police, because I thought when the new roof went on, I was absolutely positive that within 36 hours they would be here and be giving me grief. They always have in the past. When I put up my tarp, they were here. When I put up the first tent, they were here within hours. I think the next day. And when I put up this tent, they were here within 2.5 hours, and then again the next day, and multiple times since. But this time they just, and it is a bright, shiny new tarp. You know, it's bright blue and shiny, and it fits. It's got like this much spare at both ends. Perfect. 5.5. The tent is 7 meters by 3 meters, and the roof is just over 5.5 meters apparently, because the tarp was labelled as 5.5 meters approx by 3.5 approximately on the paperwork, and it fits with about 2, maybe 3 inches, 5, maybe 7 centimeters to spare on both this end and the other end. Absolutely fantastic. Cheers, Steve. And Mark and Jeff, who gave me the tarp maybe a year ago, something like that. You never know when you're going to need a tarp, folks. Everybody, be a prepper. Shit's going to happen in life. Have a tarp. Have 3 tarps. Have 5 tarps of different sizes, different colours. Get yourself an EcoFlow or a Jackery, some other kind of solar generator, and a nice big solar panel. As a minimum. You're going to, in the UK, I was just watching today, you're going to be having power cuts in the UK in the next year or two. The nuclear power stations are going offline because of cracks in concrete and so forth. The coal power stations are all withdrawn. The gas ones are being withdrawn. The oil ones are being withdrawn. They don't have the generating capacity. Other countries, my friends in America, as you know, after being hit by 2 earthquakes, 2 hurricanes within about a week or so, and fires on the west coast every year, California and all that, you're constantly without power. You've got constant outages. Get yourself, you're better off without a power, without a petrol or diesel powered generator. Something solar will do most of the time. If you've got the money and you want to have a backup petrol or diesel generator, that's an extra. Be a prepper, be prepared. Shit can happen. Ask me how I know. Okay folks, those were the themes for the week. General preparedness and stuff. But Tina girl. Let's have another look at my Tina. Nope. There she is. You see how her back legs are, she, a couple of times this last week, her back legs were so splayed apart. Her back legs were so splayed apart, she was literally doing the splits with them. They were 90 degrees out. They were literally 90 degrees out. You can see her back left leg here is, she's not sitting normally. She's sitting on her backside, not on her legs like dogs usually would. Tina girl, stop. Let's not scratch in public, darling. Tina, stop. Good girl. Good girl. That's my girl. Come here. Oh, look, now you're tripping over your line. She's my girl and I love her, but I'm coming to the realization I haven't got long left with her. I'm hoping we get through Christmas, but things are deteriorating a bit rapid. This thing, we were walking the other day, we were going up a slope to a shop, and there was this final little bit, a little hump of concrete, and her back legs just went. She's sat on her backside falling backwards because her back legs have just gone from under her, and they've not just gone, but they've gone out. Like I said, this was one of the times a 90 degree splayed outwards. I hope I'm wrong, but the rate of progression, the way things are going, I don't think we've got long together. When she goes for a pee or a poo and kind of falls into it, and I have to clean her up afterwards. That's one of the. I guess that was written here as a theme for the week. I didn't really want to go there, but I guess. But yeah, anyway, folks, let's get on with this. We've got kind of 3 weeks to cover, and there's not really. I haven't got much. I didn't make much in the way of notes, as I said. I've been on a bit of a downer. I got this whole Tina thing going on. I had my tent falling apart on me. For a while, everybody left the country. I didn't have anybody in country that was here with me, and I was offline. I was separated from the world because no phone. And even the people who'd offered, Tina, stop. And even the people that had offered to send phones, the phones aren't arriving or didn't arrive. So I was feeling down, a little lost and lonely, as I would put it. I don't like to use the word depression because I don't know whether it's valid. That needs a medical evaluation, the depression kind of thing. I don't know. But yeah, but my friend Anthony he was here when my phone went off, and he came around a few times, and he brought beers, and he brought me a chicken dinner and other things. He arrived a few times and brought me a whole case, not just a case of beer, but he'd bought a case of beer and taken it to his apartment and chilled it, cooled it. I think I said that the last stream he'd just arrived in the country, and he'd literally, on the way to his apartment, or I don't know if it's an apartment or a house, a villa, whatever, he'd on his way, before he even got there, he'd stopped off at the Mercadona and bought beers, then taken them home, chilled them for a couple of hours, and within a couple of hours he was here. Like less than 2 hours after arriving in the country, he's here bringing me cold beer. And he brought me beers a couple more times. He brought me a hot dinner. He brought me a pizza, I think it was, that first time, didn't he? Deep dish pizza, the Chicago style deep dish, the one that's like a quiche. But he also took me out to Tweeties, as I said earlier, which is fantastic. I spent 2 years dreaming about Tweeties. 2 years. When Anthony was last over, I think it was when he was last over, it might have been the time before, he brought me fish and chips from Tweeties. And then Belinda sent me money for me to go to Tweeties. And then he went and took me again. So I've had Tweeties like 3 times in the last 2 or 3 months. After 2 years of that being like an absolute dream. I do like Tweeties. Folks, if ever you're in Torrevieja, do yourself a favour, especially on a Friday, go to Tweeties. Avenida de la Mancha, Torrevieja. Yeah. How many times can I advertise them? I've got to earn a free meal sooner or later, haven't I? I'm on the grift again, folks. I'm on the grift. Okay, so yeah, Anthony, my friend Anthony. And he's back again in a couple of weeks. I think 2 weeks yesterday. So yeah, but Anthony was here, and then a week later it was when my phone ran out, and the power port, my fault. It had been getting so the cable just wouldn't hold, it just wouldn't grip, it wouldn't do anything. And it wasn't, I'd already tried just scraping around and clearing out around the port. Everyone says like a safety pin or a toothpick, something around the. I've done all that. It wasn't gunk in the port, but I thought, the cable goes in and it kind of clicks onto some prongs, onto something inside. I thought maybe if I bend them one way or the other. So I took a pair of tweezers and I stuck them in, and I kind of zhuzhed it a little bit in that direction, thinking it might make the connection tighter. Well, it did. It made the connection so tight it wouldn't connect. So then I'm bending it back, and then something cracks, and you're thinking, oh, fuck. And I might not have minded so much if I'd been on 100% or 90%. I was only on 30%. And Saturday night, I'm about to watch Big Clive and then Scruff Dog, and I'm doing the countdown to death on the phone. I'm doing the countdown of death on the phone. What can you do? So I told everyone on Scruff Dog's channel, I announced that that my phone was about to die and I was about to disappear from online. I did do a YouTube announcement as well. A lot of people are saying we had no idea that your phone had packed in. I did a message, I did one of those community posts, but Google stroke YouTube aren't great at showing the community posts to people. So I did an announcement saying, thank you everybody, it's unbelievable that I got to like 1100 and whatever subscribers, but I think this is it. I think I'm gone. I think this is it, finished. Certainly in the, I figured in the medium to long term. I didn't think I would get back online quickly. I didn't know how generous you guys can be. I didn't know how generous you guys could be. I mean, giving away a working phone. Who does that? 3 of you, apparently. Karen, Chipmunk, and Meme Jeff. Thanks to each and every one of you. You've all tried in your different ways. Karen's got here first, so she got dibs. She brought it in person. She's coming anyway. Yeah, she didn't come out just to bring the phone. I hope not anyway. Cheers, folks. But, yeah, that happened. The phone ran out, and I went, now, one of you guys, 18 months ago or more, brought me an old Kindle Fire tablet. So I had a working tablet, but no internet connection, no way. I didn't have like what did we used to call it? Was it called a MiFi? Where you'd have like a Wi-Fi hub that you put your SIM card in and it does. I haven't got a MiFi. So when the phone went, that was me disconnected from the world. But I've got a few pen drives, as I said, and I've stored a few music files and videos and films and TV series and what have you on those over the months. All very ad hoc while trying to shuffle files just to keep the phone free. There was no planning, it wasn't organised. But I had a few TV series and things saved that I watched over that week or two. In particular, a show that I've watched it once previously, but I'd never heard of it before I downloaded it a while back, called Avenue 5, with Hugh Laurie as a spaceship captain, or a fake spaceship captain. An actor, he stars as an actor playing a spaceship captain on like a cruise, like an intergalactic cruise liner or some such, and it all goes to shit and all goes wrong. Good show. I just watched it all again. But by the end of the 2 weeks, I was getting to the point, guys, where I was running out of shit to watch. I was starting to run back through things I'd already watched like a week ago or 10 days ago, whatever it might have been. It was all getting a little bit bleak. The music that I downloaded on these pen drives wasn't that great. I didn't know. I was 100 greatest this and 100 greatest that, and I downloaded them and they weren't that great. Let's put it that way. Yeah, no, not great. So during one of these weeks, this is when a bloke called Michael made his first visit to the camp. And this is a lovely bloke. This is the one that I'm not sure whether he's Irish or Scottish. And he gave me I'm not going to say exactly how much, but he gave me over 20 euros. That ain't cheap. Thank you, Michael. And if you are still here and you want to pay a follow-up visit, you're more than welcome anytime, my friend. Don't even stand on the road just shouting. Just come on round. Just come on into the camp. Don't stand on ceremonies. But yeah, lovely bloke. We sat and we had a nice chat for for a little while. And yeah. Where are we? Okay. Now I guess most days are pretty much like others. They all merge into one, especially when I'm not taking notes and not notarizing everything. But we get to last Saturday, 8 days ago. Now Karen had told me she was going to come to Spain on the Sunday or the Monday. So imagine my surprise when it's just kind of going dark or thereabouts on Saturday. And I get a shout from the road, and there's people here. They've just got off at the airport, picked up their car, and they're on their way to their apartment, and they live 20 or 30 minutes that way. But they stop off here, figuring it's important to get me a phone. They didn't know that my pay-as-you-go credit had run out the Sunday before, so it wasn't that urgent. But I appreciate the gesture. And yeah, they gave me the phone last Saturday, but it was with my SIM card being kind of deactivated, without there being credit on the card. It was kind of useless until the Monday. Nice to play with, nice toy to have, and I could set up some things. Don't get me wrong, there was things I could do, and yeah, tweaking the settings and getting it set up how you want. I did, I played because, like I've said before, tech head. I like to play with tech. I mess with technology. When I get a device, I will go through every menu setting and every option and sub option within every menu setting, just to get things how you want them. Because why wouldn't you? I don't understand you people who don't. I meet people who've never clicked the cog icon. They've never gone into the bloody settings. Don't understand you people. I'm the guy who used to read the manual. Back when computers and phones and things came with a manual. I know I'm going back a long time. But I would actually read the manual before starting with the phone or computer or laptop or whatever we're talking about. I bought something called an eBookman way back. The letter E and then Bookman, all one word. It was the first electronic book reader with a jog wheel. Way back in the 90s. Don't even remember what company it was from. I remember it got stopped at customs and caused me an extra 20 or 30 quid, not a fine, but a tax, import duty, whatever they call it. And that on top of that, the Royal Mail added an extra £7 because they paid the duty, and then I have to pay them. So there's a handling fee. Bastards. eBookman. Loved it. Years and years before touch phone, before touch screens and phones and stuff. Hence the jog wheel for next page. And the jog wheel, the wheel itself snapped in half at one point, and I had to super glue it all back together to make it work again. I like tech. My history with tech goes right back to the Atari, and I had a thing called a Philips G7000, which I know has a different name in America that I can't recall. But it was a games console where you pushed these cassettes in, these cartridges in. Philips G7000. That would have been early 80s. 81, 82 maybe. Tech. I go back a bit with it. Oh, before that, I was in hospital, and the guy on the next the guy in the next bed had a Simon Says, and I had a thing called a Merlin. Yeah, no, that's late 70s when I had the Merlin. I don't know. I go back. Me and tech. It was Franklin E. Bookman. Thank you, Jack Attack. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I had that. Cost me more than it should because of the import duties and the Royal Mail handling fees, bastard thing. And I couldn't believe it when the jog wheel broke in half after about 3 or 4 months. Fucking thing. Yeah. Tina girl. Stop. Hey. Hey. Tina. Stop. Stop. Tina girl. Stop. Hey, Tina, leave the man alone. I wasn't sure whether it was a man or a woman until he spoke, but okay. I thought he was pretty either way. I don't swing either way, but if it'd been a girl, I would have thought she was pretty. Okay. Where are we? Yeah, Karen arrives with the old phone, yeah. But I've got no credit until the Monday. So the Sunday comes and goes, and yeah, it just comes and goes. It's a long day while I'm just waiting to go to the phone shop and put credit on the pay-as-you-go account. So yeah. Where am I? Here we go then. So that's a Sunday. There's nothing much to say about the Sunday other than it was just a long day. So a long morning. You imagine you wake up at 4, 5, 6 in the morning and you're waiting until 11 or noon to go to the phone shop to get some credit on the phone. Unfortunately, you've got credit on your card. You got money on. I've got a pay-as-you-go debit card, a prepaid debit card, and also a little bit of cash at the minute because Michael had been around and given me that ain't cheap kind of amount. So yeah, I had money. So off I go at the phone shop, and it's the first time it's only like 300 meters that way, and it's the first time I've walked that way and that far in, I guess we've gone for water once or twice, but without dragging the trolley and the water bottles with us. It's the first time we've walked that way in quite a while, just like as a, I'm not going to say as a pleasure activity or leisure activity, but yeah, no, it was weird walking that way. And I tied Tina up outside the shop and I go in. Something which I'm told nowadays is actually illegal, to just tie a dog outside a shop in Spain. You can't leave your dog unoccupied. See? Single bloke with a dog. You're forced to risk legal interactions all the time. I mean, what else do you do? She's not allowed in the shop. I can't leave her here because she would bark once a second every second until I came back, and she would also rip the tent apart trying to drag to get to me. What are you supposed to do? But anyway, I have no problems putting money on the account, and I come out, I get the dog, and we carry on walking down towards Torrevieja a little bit, just another 100 or 150 meters, across the road and up and onto the cliff tops where there are some benches, and we just sit in the sun and the phone's got an internet connection. I start loading the apps. I start looking through. Hey, stop! I start looking through the list of apps. What do you have to? I don't know what you have to go. I start looking through the list of apps that were installed on the old phone and deciding what to put on this one. And Some install and some don't, and some need a second attempt, and others say they're pausing until you get a Wi-Fi connection. And I'm like, there is no fucking Wi-Fi connection. Use the mobile broadband. Use the mobile internet, you daft sod. So there's a lot of clicking about and re-clicking and fannying about. There's the initial problem of setting up the Google account. I was clever here. In the last 3 minutes before the old phone ran out, I wrote down half a dozen of these one-time passcodes for the two-factor authentication, because I knew that as soon as I entered my Google account details on this phone, it was going to try sending a text to the old phone. And when it's not on the same phone, and when I can't access it and can't respond, I'm going to be stuck in a fucking loop. But I'd written down, I only thought in the last 5 minutes or so, maybe 3 minutes of power on the old phone, to write down these one-time passcodes. Good job I did. I got the Google account set up, no problem. I got into the App Store, and as I said, I'm setting up the accounts, setting up all the different devices. I'd stored the PayPal account password, but all the others I was relying on Google's, like the Google password store. Somehow that was only set up on the old phone and wasn't backed up to Google. So every account I'm logging into, if I don't guess right at the password, and they're all different passwords, I never use the same password for the same thing, but I have a system, I have a pattern, let's say. Horse battery stable and then the name of the account, kind of thing. Not that, don't try that, but that kind of thing. The name of the service, you know, name of service. So I've got a system, but occasionally you run into one that forces you to use multiple weird characters or multiple numerals, and you can't always guess them right. And I was hoping that the Google password manager would have just stored them, would re-download them and make them available. No, that didn't work. Tina, enough. Basta. Sufficiente. Hey, sufficiente. That's enough. Tina girl, quiet. She frightens some people away. Some people start walking down the road, get this far, realise it's a black dog, and they walk away again. The Spanish have a thing about black dogs. What can you do? There's a bar half a mile that way, maybe a bit more, called Perro Negro, basically the black dog, because it's a thing. Tina! Hey! Let's have some quiet! Tina girl! Quiet, quiet. Quiet, quiet. Shush. Quiet, quiet, darling. Tina girl, come here. Now. Come here. Come here. Come for your smack. Bad girl. Come here. Okay, it's a cuddle. It's a cuddle. Yeah, it's a cuddle. Come on. Be a good girl. That way no smacks are needed, eh? Oh boy. Okay folks, I've lost myself. Where am I? Last Saturday Karen arrived. So, Monday, I'm on Monday, aren't I? We went and we're setting up the phone. Oh, when we get to the benches on the cliff tops, my hair is a little bit, if I said it was a little bit greasy. Do you know guys, I haven't washed my hair this year. Not at all. We're, what, halfway through October? And I know it probably looks a little, it goes through phases. It gets greasy for a few days and then it goes back to normal and it goes greasy again. Sometimes my scalp gets like a bit of scuzz on it and that, and then it goes away again. Yeah, I go through periods where I didn't have enough water for washing hair. I do at the minute, but I figure why upset nature's balance? It hasn't needed washing for a year, or it mainly doesn't. Why mess? But We went and sat on these benches on Monday after putting credit on the phone, and I'm setting the phone up. And my Tina girl starts to approach. She doesn't normally do this, but she starts approaching people on the other benches. There's 3 benches, and I'm on the middle one. And I've got quite a long lead. It's 3 leads daisy chained together. And she goes off like to talk to other people. And normally I'm really apprehensive. Sometimes she's a little bit 50-50. Is she going to go over there and kind of be nice with you, or is she going to go over there and eat you? And she was lovely. She went over to people, and she's always made friends. Wherever we go, people are always falling over themselves to be nice, but sometimes it's her that's just a little bit 50-50, especially with other dogs. Definitely 50-50 with other dogs. But this day, everybody we met, she was just lovely with, just fantastic. I really kind of enjoyed not having to be on edge with her, just letting her go over and talk to the various people as they come and go. That's my girl. I like that. That was nice. See if I can show you here now. Can you see this? No, that didn't work. Here we go. Look, there she is. Hey, babe. Yeah. You can be nice, can't you? I saw it once. I saw it once. It was a Monday. There she is. So yeah. So anyway, yeah, we sit there for a couple of hours and we head off back here. And as soon as I get back here, Anthony's been, I think he's been texting or trying to send messages. And while I've been without credit on the account and without a working phone, it hasn't been working. But he sent texts that arrived from Saturday onwards, and they were arriving, but I couldn't respond to them. But then he tried on Monday and he sent them, and I could respond. So suddenly I get a phone call from Anthony, just letting me know he's all right, he got home okay when he left at the end of the week before, or that weekend, and saying kind of welcome back online kind of thing, and that he'll be back out here soon. I don't know why he bothered going home, really. Should have just stayed for the 2 weeks in between. But yeah, I think 3 weeks from when he went home to when he's coming back. So yeah, where are we? Oh, okay. I wanted to say that we managed to walk further than we normally would. And I think because Tina got a rest at the shop in between, we walked there, stopped for 5 or 10 minutes while I did what I needed to in the shop, and then we walked on. So we got, because of the rest, we got further on than we would have otherwise. And I think we rested halfway on the way back as well, because... But what I didn't do, we have a shortcut that we could take, but it involves coming down some steps and then scrambling up a cliff, up a hill. Didn't do that. Came the longer way round, because, like I found with her on the steps when we went to Tweety's that time, if you look back at that video, I mentioned Tina's back legs gave way on the stairs. Hi Nick. Yeah, we have got rain and thunderstorms coming midweek. Yeah. It's actually looking a bit. It looks a bit rainy now. Can I show you the? If I can look around, show you the clouds. It's a bit grey and dank right now. Can you see my tent with these clamps holding the tarpaulin on? And here's my girl again. Hey babe, leave the flies alone. They don't taste nice. I should know. I had one fly in my mouth a few days ago. Okay, let's get finished with Monday and move on. Yeah, call from Anthony, and the rest of the day I basically, so here's the thing guys, when you've been disconnected from the world for a week or two, and you suddenly get back on, you want to download like some what I would call comfort viewing. And for me, that means Babylon 5. Now I've downloaded, it's a sci-fi TV series. I've downloaded this previously, and I've got a copy stored on a hard drive here. But this is the hard drive that won't work. Until I can connect it to a proper computer and have it do a bit of error connection on the file allocation table, it's unresponsive. Android offers to blank it to clear the whole, reformat the whole drive. Fuck that. I've got hundreds of gigabytes on there. I'm not deleting everything just to reformat. I need to connect it. So if there's anybody in Torrevieja who has a laptop that they can bring around and let me use for literally, folks, 5 minutes. A Windows laptop for 5 minutes will solve so many of my difficulties. There's nothing dodgy with it. It's not virus filled. It's not going to corrupt you or set up anything dodgy on your machine. You can virus scan it first if you want. It's a case of just connecting it. Windows will say, oh, there's an error on this drive. Shall I correct it? And I'll click OK. And that'll be that done. That's all it needs. And I've been asking now for about 9 months, I think. I've been deleting things off my old phone and shuffling things to pen drives and deleting whole seasons of TV shows because I couldn't get access to this hard drive. I couldn't get it. I can't. All the devices I connect it to, just Android just says let's reformat. Not doing that. Not doing that. I've got too much on there already to do that. Too much of my own history. A lot of the source files for my videos from my YouTube career. I know. It's not like I'm Asmongold or anything, is it? I'm not a major YouTuber. I'm quite proud that I've got over 1,000 followers on YouTube. It's not bad for a tramp. Come on. Okay. So yeah, I downloaded Babylon 5 and was watching, I just spent the rest of the day just watching season 1 of Babylon 5 and carried on. I've been watching it all week. Into Tuesday, Babylon 5 Fest, as I just mentioned. I just carried on. I was just, I've downloaded it, now I'm watching it. Fuck yeah. I'm not stepping outside this tent except for calls of nature for me and the dog. There's no messing about. And this, folks, this was while we had a quarter of the tent roof was missing. Monday, I think it was. Let's have a look. Have I got it written down here? What day the roof went? I think it was Monday night. I think it was Monday night that the winds picked up. I was chatting to Karen and I said, "Oh, it's getting a bit windy," or she said it's getting a bit windy, and I said, "Oh yeah, it is, isn't it?" And I got up in the middle of the night, like 3 in the morning, to walk the dog or whatever. And I stepped outside, and here's the thing. I step out of my bedroom, I come out of the tent, and I go for a walk. It's only when I get back, and I step back inside, I notice that there's a second panel of the roof missing. Well, like above where I... Only on the way back in, I didn't notice it on the way out. It's only in the morning that I notice there's another panel missing right next to it. I'm fucking oblivious in the middle of the night. I've got out without even seeing that 2 new parts of the roof are missing. I got out, I come back in and noticed one of them's missing, and still not noticed the other one was fucking missing. How does that happen? Tiredness in the middle of the night, I guess. Walking your dog at 3 and 4 in the morning. Yeah, I guess so. So yeah, so I'm Tuesday. I'm watching Babylon 5 again, and the question is it going to rain? Like now, when it gets like this, when it gets all foggy, when it gets miserable, it's not sunny, it's not a clear sky. And as soon as it's not a clear sky in Spain, you're wondering, is it going to rain? like I think it might now. And I was having that feeling. 3/4 of my tent had no fucking roof. Hi Julie. I'll do my best to stay safe, my friend. Yeah. It was fortunate that I had a tarp. I've got another 2 or 3 small tarps, not as big as this, but I think 3 meters by 2. So I think I could have covered it a second time. But what I didn't have was tent pegs and cordage, string, rope, whatever you want to call it. I had a little bit, and I had 4 spare tent pegs, but no more. This is why Steve came up with this idea of these big grips, these big clips, which would have never entered my head. I didn't even know such things existed. I had clueless, absolutely no bloody idea. So yeah, we plough on, we try and survive. But here I was with 3/4 of my roof missing, people walking past and laughing at me, literally in some cases, laughing at me, not with me. Not everybody's nice. Like me, not everybody's cuddly and nice like I am. But, so I'm watching all I'm doing, I'm watching TV all day. I've got access to the internet. I'm reconnecting with people. I'm saying hello. I'm catching up on what I've missed in the news and on YouTube, and, you know, but mainly Babylon 5, because that's my comfort food. That's my comfort viewing when it comes to stroking the ego and just feeling nice, and it's just comforting. I love Babylon 5. I like Star Trek as well, Stargate as well, but Babylon 5 is just genius. The first 4 series in particular. Series 5 drops off a little bit, but they tried to stretch they tried to carry on with the story after the story had finished, basically. The whole arc, the whole 4 series, the first 4 was pre-written. It was one storyline, just weekly episodes, but with a running arc through the whole lot. Especially series 2 onwards, 2, 3 and 4. Series 5 was a money grab, I think, by the station, just trying to keep going with something where the story had actually completed. They just tried to eke out another series or season, if you're American. We call each season a series in the UK. I know. Separated by a common language. Okay, so that was my Tuesday, just watching Babylon 5 and hoping it didn't rain. All right, Nick, sounds like a good idea. I'll look that up. Yeah, I prefer a toggle through the eyelets rather than string through the eyelet and a toggle to stop the string going back through, rather than tying to the eyelet, because that does tend to pull and stretch and damage things. But yeah. But sometimes needs must. Sometimes you just gotta put a roof over your head. Secure it however you can. But my mate Steve seems to have known what he was doing. I just stood back in amazement. I mean, it took 3 of us actually to get the tarp over the tent, because it's quite a big tent and the wind was blowing. It took 3 of us to do that. I wouldn't have liked to be trying to secure it and do things on my own. It would have been a hellish job, especially with a dog underfoot. But no, Steve just seemed to know what he was doing. It's almost like he could have done it all on his own. Apart from the 3 of us getting the tarp over in the first place. After that, we did a bit of handling, a bit of holding, but it was Steve all the way. Cheers, Steve. Okay, where am I? Tuesday, rain, Bab 5. Yeah, just hoping it didn't rain. Into Wednesday. Again, kind of cloudy, almost raining. A lot like it feels right now, if you can see the sky behind me. It doesn't look like too dark and it's not like thundercloud-ish. But sometimes here in Spain, you get thunder and lightning without any actual rain. It seems to be a lot more common for I'd never seen that before I came to Spain. I've never been somewhere where there's thunder and lightning and it's not raining or not about to rain. In Spain, we can have hours and hours of thunder and lightning, and the rain's just way off that way or way off that way. So yeah. So this is Wednesday morning. It's almost rainy, but not quite. But this is when, okay, see, I've jumped the gun a bit here. This is when Steve arrives and helps with putting the roof on the tent. Tuesday we were wide open and it looked like it was going to rain, but it held off. It might have spitted for a little bit. Wednesday we put the tarp on. Steve came around and put the tarp on. Also brought some food, quite a bit of booze. 12-pack of beers. Cheers, folks. I'm drinking beers now. No doubt Jack Attack's about to post pictures of beer any second. Here we go. Steve, they brought me beers. They also, because they've bought cartons of cigarettes as they've come into the country, or I don't know whether as they came into the country or from the separate alcohol shops that you get separate. But they've got cartons of cigarettes with small bottles of whiskey and vodka on them, like 200 ml, I think they are. So they're like quarter bottles almost. A little bit more than a quarter bottle. Like a bottle's 700 or 750. But they gave me a couple of bottles of that. I think there was one whiskey, one vodka, and 12 beers, and a couple of wines. That's me set. That carry me through the end of the week. From Wednesday to Monday. Should do fine. But yeah. As for the tent, oh, okay. As they left, I thought they were waving as the car was coming back up the road to leave. I thought they were waving, but well, they were waving that they'd got 2 clamps left. They'd got them in the pockets as they left. And as I think I've mentioned in the past, my door, the zip on my door doesn't work anymore. The outer door, the waterproofing, the mosquito net closers. It's got a dog-sized hole in the bottom. The inner door, the mosquito net door. It's got a dog-sized hole in the bottom, but the zip works on that closes. But the outer door for waterproofing, for keeping the rain out, that doesn't close. So having these 2 extra clamps, genius. I can now just drag this. There's bits of Velcro on that kind of semi-fasten but don't hold on their own, especially not in a breeze or in a wind. But the Velcro plus 2 of these off big clips, these big clamps, perfect. So yeah, even better. Not just a tarp over the ceiling, but I've now got a way of making my door almost watertight, almost waterproof. So yeah, that's fantastic. So that was Steve on Wednesday. That's my main thing from Wednesday. Into Thursday, and again, one of these, like now, kind of smoggy feeling days, kind of close or clammy. Feels warm. Still, the days are the days are kind of 25 degrees Celsius. Let me get you a conversion. Multiply by 2 would be 50, knock off 10% would be 45, add 32, 77 Fahrenheit, I believe. Check my maths, folks. I can't hear. If I leave the app, it'll shut down. But I think about 77 degrees Fahrenheit. But that's on a cloudy day, and it feels close, humid. I don't know if you use the word close. I don't know whether that converts to America or not. But it's humid. It's hot and sweaty even when it's cloudy, typically. Whoa! What's happening? Battery's complaining about the power. Oh, fuck. I think I'm running out of battery, folks. That was the only thing. Are you still with me? Oh, bugger. I don't know if this is working. Are we powering? Oh, you bugger. It's not the biggest battery on this phone. The screen's faded to shit. Cannot see anything. Am I still broadcasting? Where am I? I'm up to... I'm just starting Thursday, aren't I? We might have to pick up tomorrow, folks. We might have to pick up for a part 2 tomorrow. Unless I can definitely get this thing to accept power. But it doesn't look like I can. Whoa, there. Oh, no. 5% and then it went. I'm on 5% power. I got a power bank here, but I don't think it's working. Dodgy connection, dodgy wire. Not happening for me. It happened momentarily and then it went away. Oh, guys, if you're still there, can we do same time tomorrow? Part 2. Actually, make it 6 o'clock tomorrow. 6 o'clock Spanish, 5 o'clock UK. Maybe. I'll try and power through it tomorrow, folks. I can't. The wire won't. The wire to the power bank isn't receiving power. It's a dodgy connection. See whether the other one works better. If I can't get it to work, we'll have to pick up tomorrow. No, it's not going to work. Sorry, folks. Tomorrow, 6 o'clock Spanish, 5 o'clock UK. Be there or be square. Okay, folks. I can't even, can I? The screen's dark as hell. Okay, from Tina. And from me, Delta Mike, out.